We are live, Bay State running, taking our tour around the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, giving the senior salute, a very, very imperative senior salute to this class of 2020 that's so special. Today, though, I'm pit stopping in King Phillip. In this class, ladies and gentlemen, when they started, they were at the bottom of an amazing and talented, tough conference of the Hockomock League, but they're graduating, and KP is not at the bottom of the Hawks no more. And I have with me in attendance, we know the names, state champion cross country Michael Griffin, his senior assassin teammate Michael Norberg, but there's some young men here who never got their props. And I think it's important that we got to give them their platforms. My main man, Eric Delroenzo. We have Shay Duffy and Dan Body. Is it Body?
Yeah.
Guys, so seems like where does time fly? It feels like I started when you guys started. This will be my 4th year of doing announcement. But I kind of remember when this thing first started off. It first started off with Mike and the mics. You know, Mike Griffin, Mike Norberg were shaking things up. But over the last 2 years, I've watched the KP family grow. And Shay and Body, I'm going to start with Eric. So indoors, Eric, we're talking about that DMR. And everybody in the stand knew what Mike Norberg can do. And we were waiting to see what Mikey Griffin could do, but there was no shock there. You, my friend, came out of nowhere. Can you walk me through the divisional relays indoors? You get the baton in your hand. And I know the team goal was to get to nationals. What's going on in your brain? Baton is in your hand. Let's go.
Yeah, so I was the third leg, and I just watched Norberg and Jovan run amazing legs. And my goal was just to keep in contact with first place, because I knew if I could still see first place or still hit close to my time, 1 or 2 seconds off, I knew that Mike could finish out, because Mike is probably the best finisher in the league that I've definitely seen. So I just knew that, you know, everyone else was having a good race. It's my time to go. I just need to hit my splits and kick some dust up.
And you made history, so I salute you, sir. Shay, Dan, my guys. So historically, right, the Mikes, they're phenomenal. Jovan and Eric on the DMR team, but you guys have been there crushing it as well, you know? So let's talk about your journey and your growth. When I started watching KP wasn't a powerhouse per se. Still a small school, like a small program, but it seems like Shay, you and Dan bought in. What got you guys to buy in to the program? And I guess what the mics were talking in your ear and your coaches were in your ear. How did that help?
And do you want to go first, Duffy?
Nah, you go first. Don't worry about it.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think one of the best things about the team is just we have like a really close bond between our team and the coaches, and I think that's why we were able to become what we were.
Did you break up? All I had was like, you came become what we were, and that was it.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just talking about the type of team and how, like, you know, having Cap, Mike, and Berg all the time really pushing you to become better than you really were. And I think that's really what helped me, like, become a runner over the 4 years I ran for KP.
Okay, so it was osmosis. Iron sharpens iron. My main man, Shay, Mr. Duffy, you're taking your talents to my neighborhood. Welcome to Boston, buddy. Shout out to Will Feldman, Suffolk in the house. Shay, same thing like what Dan said. How has been the last 4 years building something from the ground up?
Well, I know that these guys started freshman year. I actually joined the track team sophomore year. I did indoor track, and I kind of just did like mid distance, the 600. And I met some of my best friends here, and I didn't really know that I was going to be a runner. I was pretty average. I would say below average, honestly. I was running at Wheaton meets in sophomore year, and then I decided junior year I was going to pursue cross country because that's what my best friends were doing, and I actually turned out to be pretty good. So I started running good times, and then I got my mile time down from a 6:03 sophomore year to a 5:03 junior year. And then since then, it's just been a passion, and I've loved being on the team, and these guys have made me better.
I just want to share with you, Mr. Duffy. I don't know if you watched my interview with Mike's new coach. Mike's coach, the Umass Amherst head coach, didn't break 5 minutes as a junior. Tim Ritchie now runs professionally.
Sub 4 miler.
Didn't break 10 minutes as a junior. So, my friend, you have a bright future. Now, let's get to the mics. We'll start with Norberg. So, Michael Norberg. So, Mike, I want to say, this was your come out party. Like, this was your arrival. And it was really good to see you guys this summer, Foss family in the house. But I liked your approach, guys. You got the Foss shirt on. Mike, I liked your approach, both of you guys, because there's some kids, I would never question how serious in your tent to training, but you guys weren't like extra serious. It was like, when it was time to crush miles, we crushed miles. But when it was time to have, meaningful and intimate conversations with your peers at the camp, you guys participated. You guys were just down to earth. But what made me even more proud, when it was time to compete, the savage came out. That's what made me even more excited that, oh yeah, my boys are good young men, gentle, kind, great human beings. But some reason, Mike, Norberg, the savage was coming out. Can we talk about this? What happened? It seems like you're two different men. There's a guy that I know, then there's a guy that gets on the track is a different person. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, just when it's race day, time to hit the line, just go into race mode. Just really focus up, just tune out all the distractions, all the noise of the crowd. Just really just get down to work.
Oh, did you go to work, my man? You went to work. Oh, you sure went to work. What did we finish in Allstates again?
3rd for indoor, 5th for XC.
What were you last year?
I didn't make it for indoor last year.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm so proud of this kid. Like, that made those are moments that I'm like, that's what it's all about. A kid that believes in himself, who believes in himself. Now, Mikey Griffin. Mike, I almost lost my voice during a stream. Mike Griffin, I didn't think it was possible. In my head, I said, William Chafin has a lead. There's no way, impossible, that Mikey Griffin's going to catch this guy. That's William Chafin. That's Concord Kyle's finest. That is the Northeast Nike regional champion. He's not going to get caught. He has a lead. And before you know it, I'm looking at each lap, and that lead gets smaller. And it gets smaller. Then it gets smaller. Mike, what were you thinking when you started closing in on William Chafin in that amazing leg in the DMR, which probably is one of the most filthiest legs I've seen ever? What were you thinking as that lead was getting smaller and smaller and smaller?
Funny enough, when I just got the baton in my head, I had probably no intention of catching him. Like, at least I didn't think I was going to catch him. My main goal was to just bring the team to nationals and get that qualifying time down. So when I think I got the baton like 6:12-ish. So I was like, all right, don't worry about anyone else. Just run your own thing, get that qualifying time down. I know I can do it. I just got to get that time. And I think it was around 3 laps left to go where I noticed I was pretty close to Chaffin. And I was like, dang, he's really close. And I know I have a much better finish than he does. I think I can get this. And then it's hard to really put it into words what the atmosphere was like in that race. Because you got a giant KP cheering section on the back straight, which every time I went around, it just felt like it got louder and louder. You got a lot more people joining in as I got closer, which really helped. You got Thunderstruck blasting from the speakers on the infield. With that was my favorite part. Just listening to that, kind of just chilling around, going around on the mile, and then getting closer and closer. I'm like, oh, I can do this. I know I can beat him. And it was just the best feeling in the world when I passed him on that last lap, finished, and got that qualifying time.
Unreal. Guys, your head coach, the cross-country head coach, that man doesn't get enough props. Can we give a shout-out to your coach? Drop his name, please.
Chris Elgar
is the man. How has Elgar been instrumental and patient with your development? Guys, chime in, please.
I think, like you said, he's extremely underrated. He took a team our freshman year that had a lot of potential, and instead of just shoving us out there being like, oh, I got a really good team, I got to get them up fast, he built us up over the years. He was patient with us. He made us probably the best runners we could have been in high school. And along the way, we created a really special bond with him. He made us better runners. He also made us better people.
Fellas, chime in.
Just for perspective, he took a team that wasn't even used to winning one meet in the regular season our freshman year, and to have hopes of going 5-0 in our regular season senior year is just, in 4 years, turning a program around like that. Like, not many coaches could ever think of even doing that. And him just pushing us day in and day out, but knowing when to lay back and let us have a nice, easy recovery run. He definitely molded who we are, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
I mean, he was able to take a guy like me who joined for a social aspect and turn me into a passionate runner, and that's not something a lot of coaches can do. So that was kind of awesome for him, and I really think that he's skilled like that and making everyone not, as good as they possibly can be, but also to make them as passionate about the sport as they can be.
Dan, I see you nodding your head. You're in agreement?
Yeah, and I just think that one thing I really appreciated about him too is from the first guy to the last guy on the team, he cared about everyone the same and really just pushed everyone to be the best they possibly could.
So we've discussed it. We've shared this. Now KP is on its up. What can we share to my main man, Jovan Joseph, Team Haiti in the house? He's next up. What are we going to talk to the next generation of KP athletes? It's going to be really, really difficult, and it's unfair to compare them to you guys. You guys are a very special class as its own. You guys are the GOATs, right? But what do you share to the next wave of KP runners? Your experience, how amazing your coach is, and how tough the Hockomocks is.
I mean, I guess one thing that I'd say to the next generation of KP runners, or even runners in general, is just because you're losing, like from a KP perspective, just because you're losing one of the best classes in your school's history doesn't mean you have to give up, and doesn't mean you're going to start being bad. As long as they keep grinding with the outstanding coaching that they're going to have, they can still be up there. Maybe not as high as we are right now, but they can still build up to be as high as we are right now in the future years. Like D'Lo said, we came from being excited about our first dual meet win in 2 years, our freshman year, to making it to the Allstate meet our junior year and being one of the top teams in the Hawk, like our junior and senior year, for both outdoor in indoor and cross country for distance.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
I would definitely say be patient because I know freshman year a lot of times I wasn't used to high school coaching. I was just, middle school cross country for us isn't like a big or too big of a deal at all. But just stay patient and then just put in the miles and don't really think about improvement too much because it'll come naturally. And then just listen to every single thing coach says because he definitely knows what he's doing.
Guys, D-Lo, you just brought up coach. Could we talk about the first coaches in our lives? And that as our parents. And this weekend is Mother's Day, guys. Can we take an opportunity, gentlemen, to just talk to that special lady in your life? Give that first coach her love. Floor is yours.
For me, like my mom always, like whenever, do bad on a test or something, or just like freshman year, I remember getting blown out a couple times in cross country in dual meets. She'd always just say to, maybe looking bad now, but in the future, this won't even matter at all. It's just a small hurdle, if you will, that you just need to get over and keep your chin up high.
He was right, fellas.
She would always remind me that, you can't PR every meet. Like, a coach can say it, your teammates can say it, but right after a race, sometimes you don't always listen to them. So, when you come home and, it's just good to relax. And, in school, out of school, they're always there for you. And my mom's amazing, so I can't thank her enough for all that. But, yeah, it's just great to be reminded of that.
Duffy.
I know this past year, going into cross country, I ended up getting a stress fracture that took me out of basically the entire season. I only got to run one meet. And so my mom would still drive me to every single meet, or drive to every single meet, even because I was still going on crutches right here and taking the bus to the meets to go cheer on my teammates. And my mom would still show up and she would still talk to me while I was on the side watching, and she'd still cheer for all my friends. So even when I was, at a low and injured and couldn't run, my mom still showed up and supported me even though I wasn't even competing. So it's times like those that we need them.
Shout out to Miss Duffy for that.
When it comes down to it, your mom's always your number one supporter. Like even when like Duffy, when you're at your lowest or whenever you're at your highest, your mom's always going to be there for you, cheering you on, making sure
Mrs. Duffy is always there.
There. She's always going to be making sure you're doing what you love no matter what, getting what you want to do done.
Dan.
Well, even though my mom definitely never understood what was happening at the meets, nothing was better than seeing her on the side cheering for me.
Gotta love that. Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what's going on at track meets. They're just running. Like, is that a 12K, 5K? I don't know. They're just running. Hey, Griffin. You spoke on that?
Yeah.
Was that addressing Mrs. Duffy?
That was addressing all moms. Like I said, everyone's mom, number one supporter from day one.
Well, I want to say that you guys have been, I felt like one of my number one supporters. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do the interviews with me over the last 2 years. I appreciate all the meaningful conversations, even to this one now. Good to meet you, Sean, Dan, D-Lo. I met you in this indoor season. And I appreciate the mics for, setting the example and putting our state on its back, representing Massachusetts at a high level. It doesn't matter. You didn't have to win the national title in cross country. You got there, right? And there'll be another kid that's going to look in 2019, well, if Mike did it, I can do it. That's how it works. So I appreciate you guys. You guys have been ambassadors, and I truly love the story of KP. I feel like I can kind of relate to it. I'm a city coach, and I started with a small program. I was the first time to have one of my athletes qualified for Allstates in cross country last year, my girl. So I really felt connected and I resonated with KP because I know that the KP cross country team is not a team of like 300 kids. You know, you guys don't have a big team, but you guys have big hearts. You have heart of a champion, and that showed in countless times. You guys were not afraid of anyone. And I think teams are lucky that you guys didn't have the depth because you probably would have walked away with the state title if there was more kids actively running in that town. And I bet you pulled a few soccer players off. KP could have been really, really dangerous in cross country. So I really salute you guys for that. And I know that Norberg's going to Umass. Mike's going to Tennessee. Duffy, you're going to Suffolk. Dan, where are you going again?
Westfield State.
Westfield State. Will you be running at Westfield?
Yes.
D-Lo, you're running as well?
Yeah, I committed to Arcadia University. It's a new program. School's down near Philadelphia, so gonna help to build up a program there. So excited.
Well, then that's excellent. So you guys are taking your talents all to the respective universities. What I ask is that please, we continue this dialogue? This will be year 4 of me doing interviews, and I want to move into the collegiate ranks and cover what you guys are doing. So I'm going to ask you guys to do 2 things. First is continue to pay it forward with that amazing coach you guys have and help him galvanize the next generation of KP runners. It's one thing for him to say it, but if it comes from you guys, because you guys all are examples of like, hey man, I went D1, I went D2, I went D3. There is a place for you in this running world. That is an example. Not everyone has to go to University of Tennessee, University of Massachusetts, Amherst. Sean, D-Lo, Dan, you guys could be a Division III All-American. You do not know what the next 4 years entail for you. There's some people who are late bloomers. There's some people it just clicks maybe at 20, 21, 22. And there are other kids who like they hit their ceiling by high school. Like they overran. Like you said, your coach was patient in development. There were guys who were having their kids bang out like 70 miles a week. Those kids are fried by senior year and they don't have the love. Sean, you talked about passion. That speaks to me. Like I'm a passionate person. So I know that you'll be successful in the sport because it's here. It's here and here. So gentlemen, please, those are the 2 things I ask is you continue to pay it forward to the next KP runners. We got to get Jovan's miles up. Like, got to get Jovan under 17:10. Jovan, when you see this video, Coach H is asking for that, please, because that's going to help you become a better 600 runner. So, guys, talk to him in the next wave of KP runners that it can be done. You guys are an example of what can happen in 4 years, the peaks and the valley, the peaks and valleys. Unfortunately, like I got 40 minutes went by quick. I have like 5 minutes left. But before we wrap up, can you guys share with me individually, make it quick, your high school highlight? What was your favorite moment in high school? Last 4 years in competition, what stood out?
For me personally, it was when we qualified for Allstate's junior year. That was just such like an amazing feeling to know that this dream that we had ever since freshman year of making it to Allstates, and we beat out Franklin, who was like our biggest competitor, to go to Allstates. We were just like amazed and shocked, and just like that feeling, the surprise was like, wow, all of this work, all the miles, like they finally paid off.
Amen to that. Next man up. Dan, Westfield, you're too quiet. Talk to me, Dan.
I absolutely got to agree with D'Lo. Figuring out that we were going to Allstates was the best feeling ever because we felt like such like underdogs that meet, and it seemed like a crazy dream at the time, but when like we finally just made it, it was the best feeling I ever had.
That's so dope. Duffy, talk to me.
Junior year, my first year of doing cross country, I remember my first meet, I ran like a 20 something. And then over the course of the season, my coach kept telling me I could break 19, and I never really believed him. And then we got to Hawk championships, and he told me the night before that he was going to throw me in the varsity race because he thought I could do it. And I crossed the line, and it said 18:41, and it was like a 30-second PR. And that was just the best moment of high school for me. Like, period. Like, sports, school, period. That was it.
Norberg?
Probably a tie between qualifying for Allstate's junior year and breaking 9:30 for the first time indoor this year. Because the whole season, my coach Elgar was telling me you can break 9:30, and I was like, yeah, maybe at Allstate's, and then get to the league championship, end up outstriding Brogan at the end and crossed in 9:26. I was like, wow, this is unreal. Can't believe I just broke 9:30. Haven't even run in the 9:30s before.
You just skipped the 9:30s. Went from 9:40 to 9:20s.
Mike, Griffin, talk to me.
I think all the KP kids got a special place in their heart for that junior year All-State qualification for the team. But personally, I got to say my number one memory, or at least my number one race from the past 4 years, was that DMR comeback we just had in indoor. That was just an amazing feeling, the entire race.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate to say that I've seen those milestones in your life, and that made me happy to know that where you guys were heading. It was beautiful and inspired me, that I'm looking at my city kids like, we can do this, We're going to make it to all states, man. We could do this. So guys, just do not think that you have not made me a better coach. You have made me a better coach. I've been inspired by you guys. And yeah, man, you guys will be truly, truly, truly missed. Please don't be a stranger. Make sure you check in with Bay State Running. Make sure you guys can go out there. If you can, go out there, get that mile in for Ahmad Arbery, rest in peace. Make sure you salute your mother on Mother's Day and pay it forward to your coach. And guys, I want to say on behalf of Bay State Running, it's been a pleasure. Really has been a true pleasure. And a part of me feels like you guys are just scratched the beginning of greatness. You just started scratching the surface of greatness. I really believe that, Sean, 1940, say hello to Seb 17, my friend. That's coming for you, okay? And same thing for you both, Mikes. You guys are going to both phenomenal programs. Mikey, you're going to Tennessee. Wish you nothing but luck, but you got to go to the SEC. You got to go against the Titans. If you're going to make a name for yourself, you got to really go against the bad boys. You got to go do that. But at the same time, Mike Norberg, you're going to be going to a school that has a lot of talent itself and is going to be making its name. So it's hard for me to see with you, this class coming in, Nick Valiente, Ben Burgess is already there, Bobby Carew. This is that UMass team is going to be really, really good. And Eric, man, the same approach that you've had since freshman year. You're going to a school like Arcadia. Arcadia it's like KP all over again. But the difference is that you're better than you were 4 years ago. So I want you to go there with the same attitude. You're going down to the mid-Atlantic area of America. Get down there and just handle your business, man, because you yourself, sub 158 is coming for you in the 800, and you're going to have a great career. So continue to believe in yourself. And Dan, Westfield State, great program. They're amazing D3. And I think you'll be a great fit. And I just don't want you guys to have any ceilings of anything that you guys have shared with me, that I do have this motto, dreams are tangible goals. And clearly the junior class, your junior year, showed that the dream can be a tangible goal. Like, you guys dreamed about it. You worked hard. You did your hills. You did your fartleks, your repeats, your long runs, your recovery runs, your core, whatever you needed to do when your coach was just weaving that amazing program together. And guess what happened? Everyone pushed their ticket as a team. That's a moment you'll never forget the rest of your life. that you guys are gonna share with your children, your future family. Like, you know, when daddy punched his ticket and shocked the Hawks. So, guys, please, thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for respecting what we're doing at Bay State. Thank you for jumping on the Zoom. I'm going to miss you guys, man. Please do not be a stranger. Nothing but love. This is Coach H. I'm about to be signing off. Please take care of yourself. Practice your social distancing. Please don't. The summer's coming around the corner. We're not out of it yet. Just please make the sound and right decisions. But there's no excuse that we can't crush miles. Like, you know, the basketball courts, they're zip tied. You can't play hoops unless you have a hoop in your backyard. You can't play tennis. You can't play soccer. But can you go run? Can you go crush some miles? Absolutely. So don't be sleeping, because when they do lift the ordinance up and you guys are back enrolled into your new institutions, I would hate to see you guys get destroyed because you were not focused over the summer. All right, guys? Peace and blessing. Nothing but love from the bottom of my heart. You'll be missed, Coach H. Peace, guys.
Thank you,